Open wide, America. Burger Chef's got thick, juicy, terrific burgers.
What if I told you there was once a burger empire that nearly defeated McDonald's? A chain that pioneered everything we now take for granted in fast food. Combo meals, kids' toys, and customizable burgers. A company that grew faster than almost any brand in history, conquered small-town America, and then vanished so completely that most people under 40 have never even heard its name. This is the story of Burger Chef, a brand built by dreamers, stolen by corporations, and buried by history. Yet its fingerprints still cover every burger you eat today. The story begins in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the 1950s. Two brothers, Frank and Donald Thomas, spent their days not in a kitchen, but in a workshop. They weren't chefs. They were inventors, mechanical minds who built tools and machines for restaurants through their small company, General Equipment. One day, a small burger chain named Burger King hired them to design a flame broiler. They finished the job, but while testing the machine, Frank Thomas had a spark of genius. Why sell the technology when you could sell the burgers yourself? Why build for others when you could build an empire of your own? So in 1957, the brothers opened a single restaurant to showcase their invention. They called it Burger Chef. The idea was simple but powerful. Burgers cooked over an open flame tasted better. The flavor was smoky, the process was fast, and customers loved it. The brothers realized they had more than a restaurant. They had a system, and that system could spread across America. While McDonald's was planting its first arches in big cities and on highways, Burger Chef took a different route. They moved into smaller towns, places McDonald's ignored. In those quiet neighborhoods, families saw Burger Chef as something special. It wasn't just fast food, it was modern, exciting, and affordable. People could feed a family of 4 for the price of a single steakhouse dinner. The company grew like wildfire. By 1968, Burger Chef had 600 restaurants in 39 states. For years later, there were more than 1,200. Only McDonald's had more. For a moment, America truly believed that Burger Chef could take the crown. What made them different wasn't just speed, it was imagination. Burger Chef pioneered ideas that would later define the entire fast food industry. They created the Works Bar, a counter loaded with toppings so customers could build their own burgers exactly how they liked them. They launched the Triple Treat, a burger, fries, and shake for 45 cents, the first true value meal in fast food history. They even experimented with drive-through windows long before it became a norm. Innovation was in their DNA. But their greatest creation appeared in 1973. It was called the Funmeal. Inside the bright box was a small burger, fries, drink, puzzles, comics, and a toy featuring their mascots Burger Chef and Jeff. Kids loved it. Parents saw it as affordable joy. And yes, it arrived 6 years before McDonald's Happy Meal. The first children's combo in history didn't come from Ronald McDonald. It came from Burger Chef. Their advertising was pure 70s magic, colorful, strange, and unforgettable. The characters in their commercials were a whole universe. Burger Chef, the friendly cook, Jeff, his sidekick, Count Fongburger, the vampire, the magician Burgerini, the witch Cackleburger, and even a talking gorilla. They were voiced by Paul Winchell, the same voice actor who played Tigger in Winnie the Pooh. For kids, every meal felt like a cartoon come alive. For parents, it was family entertainment wrapped in a burger wrapper. Burger Chef had found its soul, a blend of comfort, fun, and flame-broiled flavor. Then the dream changed hands. In 1968, the Thomas brothers sold Burger Chef to General Foods Corporation, the same giant that owned Jell-O, Kool-Aid, and Maxwell House. On paper, it looked brilliant. Deep pockets, national advertising, corporate structure. In practice, it was a disaster. General Foods didn't understand restaurants. They understood shelf products and grocery logistics, not customer service or franchise management. Their bureaucracy smothered the quick, inventive energy that had fueled Burger Chef's rise. Franchise owners complained that decisions took months and marketing support was weak. While McDonald's was flooding television with polished national campaigns, Burger Chef still relied on regional ads and cartoon mascots. The company that once led the pack started falling behind. Innovation slowed. Morale dropped. the chain's identity began to blur. By the mid-1970s, trouble was visible from every counter. Stores expanded faster than the company could manage. Training lagged. Quality control collapsed. General Foods was busy running dozens of other brands and had no time for burgers. Meanwhile, competitors were perfecting consistency, branding, and speed. Burger Chef, once the symbol of modern America, was now the old diner on the corner that everyone forgot to visit. And then something happened that no business could recover from. A tragedy so shocking that it permanently stained the name. On November 17, 1978, at a Burger Chef in Speedway, Indiana, for young employees closed the store for the night. When morning came, the doors were unlocked, the safe was empty, and the workers were missing. 2 days later, their bodies were found in a wooded area outside of town. All four had been killed. The Burger Chef murders became one of Indiana's most haunting unsolved crimes. Newspapers across the country ran the story. The company offered rewards, investigators chased hundreds of leads, and yet no one was ever charged. Even though Burger Chef wasn't responsible, the public's association was immediate. The cheerful red and blue sign that once meant family fun now carried a shadow. Parents hesitated to let their kids work there. Communities whispered. The name felt cursed. By the early 80s, Burger Chef was spiraling. Sales dropped. Stores closed. Franchisees bailed out. General Foods wanted out of the burger business altogether. In 1981, they sold Burger Chef to a Masco Limited, a Canadian conglomerate that also owned Hardee's. The price was $44 million. Pocket change compared to what Burger Chef had once been worth. Almost overnight, thousands of Burger Chef locations were stripped of their signs and reborn as Hardee's. The transformation was cold and corporate. One morning you could eat a Big Chef, and the next day the same building served Hardee's fries. For loyal customers, it felt like erasing a memory. Some franchise owners refused to switch and kept using the Burger Chef name as long as they legally could, but their numbers dwindled each year. By the mid-90s, only one remained, in Cookeville, Tennessee. It finally changed names in 1996. After nearly 40 years, Burger Chef was gone. Yet ghosts linger. Across America, you can still find them. The unmistakable kite-shaped roofs, now painted over and reused as Mexican restaurants, thrift stores, or car lots. If you look closely, you can still see the outline of the old signposts, the curve of the parking lot design, the faded red tiles, Burger Chef memorabilia. Paper hats, cups, toys, even unopened condiment packets. A single light-up Burger Chef globe recently sold online for more than $1,000. People still care because Burger Chef was never just food, it was part of their childhood. It was Saturday lunches, car rides after baseball games, the smell of fries mixed with the sound of laughter. Even Hollywood remembered. In the final season of Mad Men, the fictional ad agency lands Burger Chef as a client. In one emotional scene, a character calls the restaurant a place where families come together. That single line captured everything Burger Chef once stood for. Nostalgia, community, warmth, and loss. So why did it die? The easy answer is mismanagement. General Foods never understood how to run restaurants. They spread the brand too thin, ignored franchisees, and failed to invest in marketing. But there's also a deeper reason. Burger Chef was built by inventors, not salesmen. They focused on the burger, the flavor, the equipment, the tangible things. McDonald's focused on the feeling. They sold happiness, not hamburgers. And in America, emotion always wins over engineering. Burger Chef gave the industry its greatest ideas, the kids' meal, the combo, the topping bar, and watched as others took the credit. They were too early, too generous with their creativity, and too slow to protect it. In business, timing is everything. They arrived before the world was ready to recognize their genius. Even after death, Burger Chef's influence refused to fade. Every time you unwrap a combo meal, you're seeing their blueprint. Every time your kid opens a toy from a Happy Meal, that's Burger Chef's legacy. Every time you pour ketchup onto your burger at a topping station, that's their idea. The industry moved on, but the DNA remained. Their story is a quiet reminder that innovation without vision is never enough. You can invent the future, but if you can't protect it, someone else will own it. And that's exactly what happened. In the end, Burger Chef's fall wasn't just a corporate failure. It was an American tragedy of ambition. They dreamed too big, too fast. They believed that better burgers would always win. But in the race for hearts, marketing mattered more than flavor. The Thomas brothers retired long before the collapse. They died knowing they had built something remarkable, but also watching it disappear one sign at a time. Their invention, the flame broiler, still lives on in kitchens everywhere. The brand, though, lives only in memories and old photographs. If you drive through a quiet town and spot a roof that curves like a kite, stop for a moment. You're standing on the ground where a forgotten empire once thrived, where kids laughed over fun meals, where teenagers worked their first jobs, and where the dream of outflaming McDonald's flickered for a few brilliant years. Burger Chef wasn't just a restaurant chain. It was a piece of Americana. It proved that imagination can build an empire, and that even empires can vanish overnight. But spirit never really died. It simply melted into the world it helped create. So the next time you open a Happy Meal, build your burger, or grab a quick combo, remember, you're tasting the legacy of Burger Chef, the pioneer that lit the flame and showed the world what fast food could be. They may be gone, but they were first. And for a brief, beautiful moment, they were almost king. Which forgotten restaurant do you remember most? Leave a comment, and maybe next time we'll explore another legend lost to time. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who remembers the sound of a sizzle and the glow of a red and blue sign. This was the rise and fall of Burger Chef, a story about invention, ambition, and the fleeting nature of fame. Because sometimes, history's greatest creators are the ones we forget first.